Hi, Dr. Shark here, Shark Holistic Health. This is our lab series. Cyrex Array 10 Food Sensitivity Panel. So this is what it sounds like. It's a food sensitivity panel. It is a blood test. One of the things I love about Cyrex is they're able to run a large array of reactions with a small amount of blood. So they just need one vial to run all of these tests. They're not going to drain you dry at the clinic. They also run a lot of different proteins for the same food. So this is a general food sensitivity panel. It's really pretty good, pretty accurate. There's just a couple of things you need to know about food sensitivity panels. One is, if you have not eaten this food in a long time, you may come back with a false negative. So if you have been reactive to a food in the past, you've cut it out of your diet, now you take this blood test, it comes back negative, that does not mean that you're not reactive to the food. It means that your immune reactivity around that food has calmed down so much because you're not eating it that you're coming back negative. So that's really important to note. Cyrex Labs themselves recommends doing a challenge of any suspected food sensitivities prior to testing. Personally, I say if you know you're reactive to a food, let's not rev things up just so we can get a positive on a blood panel, unless you're just dying to have that. The most important way to know you're sensitive to a food is to eat it and notice how it affects you. To stop eating it for a while, eat it again, and see how you feel, right? But sometimes people are having a lot of reactions and they can't tell why. And that's where a food sensitivity panel can be helpful. For the foods that you are eating on a regular basis, you should get a pretty accurate sense of what you're reactive to from this panel and some of the cross reactivity. So for example, if you have one food that you come back positive with, they'll often recommend other foods that can also trigger those same antibodies that you should avoid. So that can be hugely effective. The other drawback to the food sensitivity panel is that sometimes people are just in a high reactive or a polyreactive state. So they'll take this panel and it will come back with like half of everything they eat positive. That actually doesn't mean that you're allergic to all those foods. What that means is you have an underlying issue that is driving your body to just go boom, react to everything, right? And so then the solution to that is not necessarily to avoid every single food, but to actually treat the underlying thing that's driving the polyreactivity.